So this is my world from 2020, and if you couldn't tell from the incredibly illuminescent grass color, this was a mushroom island, usually poisonous and filled with mushroom cows, which maybe there's one left lying around somewhere. I transformed all of the lower area into a grass plains and the upper area into a desert, although that was a bit rushed, and to be honest with you, I've already done some work refining it, and I'm just going to say it now because it's going to come up later. Look, there's one of the final animals. We're not touching this. This stupid area back here was me being inconsiderate to nature, just decimating this portion of the island. But the rest, two layered area with a little village down here. It's not a village, it's two houses that are pretty empty. And although I still build relatively empty interiors, these were incredibly barren. I mean, if you just go in here, it's one lectern introducing you to the place, which is called Greenland. That's the best 14-year-old Leon could come up with for a place like this. There's also this villager trader center here. Gosh, I think there's just such an inconsistent theming of this area where it's pretty obvious that I wanted a village area down here. These styles of houses are not what I'm going for, and I actually wanted a castle up here. Oh god, I'm doing a big outline. I'm setting myself high expectations. But this river's custom terraformed. I did a bit of work. I think the first thing you look at, you kind of ignore how bad the buildings look and you think of, why is there not a single piece of grass or mob or tree anywhere around here? I've literally just added these cacti, to give some sense of life. I actually have my to-do book from back in the day. We've got 4 steps. We're going to expand the village. We're going to decorate the land with trees and foliage, and then we're going to build the castle. Oh, I was really meant to be dramatic. Then we're going to build the castle. We're going to updo these, and then we're going to fill the rest of this area with a little central village. And I'm not going to expand all the way out there, but I am going to have some custom trees, I think, ideally. I don't really love this river or this bridge. This bridge is incredibly thin. So what I think I'm actually going to do first, because I'm imagining 2 parts of the village split across this river, is take this bridge down and rebuild it. And we're going to mark all our progress, not just by video editing and time lapses, but I actually managed to set myself a handy little map here. So this is locked, and then we're going to have another one at the end of this video. We'll put them side by side and see what we've done to restoring my original vision. So let's break this bridge down. No, I didn't try and record a clip with my microphone turned off. Anyway, a bunch of ore removing later and an insignificant amount of detail. I kind of like this more. I hate that. I like the fact the sides are blended a bit more, but trust me, I'm going to add so much grass along all of here that it's going to take a whole day to place. But that is going to come in step 3. Where's my book? Where's my book that I need to progress the story of this video? That's going to come in step 3 or 2. I haven't decided yet. I chucked out so much stuff from my shulkers because my my ender chest was full of useless junk. It was full of 27 shulker boxes that just had nothing usable in. If I'm going to be building a lot, I'm going to need a lot of shulker space. So anyway, this is slightly more updated. Now, that is only part 1 and expanding the village. The next step is taking these down, finding a new style, and then making a bunch of different versions of them. Okay, yep, let's take it down. And you are going. I don't know if I'll keep the villages or not, but you are going. So I did some work, just freestyling, because I'm not sure what I actually wanted with this place. And I started with turning the tiny little cliff stump here into a little castle base, and at the top just a little home for the map, but using tough and spruce, or like this wooden texture, just to frame that a bit more. And I took all the houses down. That I'm not going to fully take down until I've got enough village space that the villagers can walk free. But then I made this. This one building has taken me a little minute or 2, as in a good number of hours, because I didn't really know what to do. I know I wanted a medieval style. I know that in the world I had since I made this one, I've got better at doing medieval style. So I've kind of gone with this earthy, rundown building for the main one. It's the exact same position as what the first iteration was, so that's going to make a nice before and after shot. So this one's just going to be like a general house to be in. I had a melon and pumpkin farm. I'm not sure. Oh, I also went out searching for a bunch of hay bales because I needed packed mud, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of paths and I like making paths packed mud. But I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the melon and pumpkin farm. Not sure if I really need melon and pumpkins to trade, so I might just build a farmer's house. But I'm going to build a couple that, with how detailed this was and with how big the island is, I think I might aim for like 6 houses. Ideally, now I've done the first one, I've got a style that I can repeat. Ignore the floating spruce tree, I need resources. None of this is going to have houses. Like I said, I'll probably do 2 more here, maybe have a little farm area. But now I've got a nice first building in place, I can replicate to my best ability in the same style, a couple here, a couple there, and this is going to take a minute, but then the villagers will have a nice home. So let's do this. Right, this has taken a minute to get to the point where I am now. I'd like to raise the point of inventory management because this sucks. This is awful because I've been detailing, and honestly, I haven't got the detail level on any of these other builds that I did with this build. I'm not sure what I did here. I just think there's so many fun shapes. But I've made a farmhouse. I've made a little off house for the farmhouse with these fields of wheat. I also have this outhouse. I built this first. I thought this is more like a fishing deck that comes to the river. So maybe I'll set up some armor stands or item frames. And there's, honestly, I've got so many buildings that I've constructed in like a day that I'm just missing details everywhere. I've got to come back through. But they do have some basic interiors, just floors and workstations, so the villagers can be in here and not on that ugly thing that was out there. This one's quite nice and open. I want to put some hay bales and stuff around just because these are meant to be like the storage houses. But I was talking about expanding the village out that way, and I thought that doesn't really make... No! How have you done that? If there's going to be a castle over there and a castle there, it wouldn't really make sense for them to be nice in this area. This would almost be like a no man's land. So I'm going to have... I've just had one little hut from these guys. It's a nice fictional. I don't want to create a war in this place. Oh god, I have not done the interior here. I don't want to create a war, but I do want it to feel like these two places have just been smacked on one island together. But I think it is coming really nice together. This place was really empty before, and all of this is still empty, but this place just looks nice and compact, and I like it. I think it's really funny how I've changed as a builder and how I've changed how I play Minecraft and the free time I have, that I got all of this done, not including the land, obviously. Transforming this entire land took quite a time. I only have about 10 real-life days played on here, and I'd say about 2 of them have come from this recording already. It's just interesting because I've done this all in 1 week and the rest took me a year. I was much less efficient back then. Speaking of efficiency and transitions, let's get grass, let's get trees, and let's get this flat land looking way more nice. Guys, I did it. I shrubbed up. I took a little time for this one, some other stuff was happening, so I took a break and I came back, and there is a lot of bone meal just kind of randomly placed, but there's also a lot of ferns and patterns and blue warped around the place to make this look a whole lot softer and less barren, because the desert is meant to be the barren part. Out on the edges I've done less, but just don't look out there. I had no trees in place. I was really worried that my trees were going to turn out just too flat and too almost like bob haircut looking, but these are all a couple oak trees. That is my most recent. I feel like it's the nicest. I've tried to do, in video games like Minecraft, you'll have an effect, it's often called 100 different things. It's called map levels in here, and it changes how detailed stuff in the distance in the corner of your vision is to help performance. So less and less quality will be kept further away from the object, but it's also used in art and photography to give depth to landscapes and make stuff feel compositionally more complete and have a reference to the scale of something, because that can often be lost. Since we're mostly viewing the island from up here, details like all the way over there, those grass patches there, that one mushroom are less obvious. Everything seems good even back here, where I've applied this effect of just having some really low detail trees, and obviously they're shaded by this massive tree, but it gives a forest effect without me having to build 5 massive trees. But yeah, then I went and made these shrubbed fields. It's like it's not been explored. You know, the main area's been explored and this no man's land hasn't. We've got this lead up, which you can very clearly see. I really have set myself a lot of work to do with this, because I've built an entire village, I've built trees, and now I'm going to build a castle and a whole nother landscape as well. I literally spent about an hour just going and refining these edges of these slopes so they look less artificial, because this is a 1.16 world, and also Minecraft generation can just not look the most appealing. I've been really loving this, actually. Just taking my first ever big project and making it. I need windows here. And making it to a scale that I'm more comfortable with now and that I like building with now. Real talk, I feel like I always lose the having fun aspect of making a video sometimes. So taking back to this world is really, really cool. But I am not done. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do for the castle, but I know I need to do the castle. So let's get building it. Thought I'd jump in here and talk a little more about this build. The base in general was very inspired by hermitcraft season 7, as that was taking place at the time, and they were turning the mushroom island on their server into a grassy lands, and I thought it'd be fun to do the same. But I did want to do this medieval village theme, and the castle idea did technically just come from a stolen Reddit post, but I'm not doing that theme. Listen, I wasn't the greatest builder back then, I wasn't the greatest YouTuber back then, so over the years I've done a lot more medieval style bases. I've got better at building by just doing it, by just going and building. I know there's been a lot of time lapses in this video so far, but it is rather a big project. This is actually the second part to this type of video. I remade my origin space, which was the server that came after this one, but I was gonna have that, this world, and another world all in one video. I think you can see from the amount of progress that I'm doing right now, and if you watch the first video, the amount of progress that happens in that would have been stupid, and I thankfully realised that halfway through recording the first one. Anyway, the castle, I kind of took inspiration from a couple of builds I've already made. One desert village in another season, and a casino I made on a server with my friends, and kind of getting the shape from that, because shape is always something I struggle with. Tried to get these proportions right, but eventually I got a little bit lazy in the interior, just a rundown aesthetic, but I do think it's looking very nice and looming at the top of the mountain, especially with these little dead trees that I put around the place. I tried to take the custom trees I already made, make them dead, and look guys, I think it's a good turnout.
I have been cracking a lot. Not sure whose idea it was to build a massive castle. I do think of these two as like opposing forces. Like I obviously wanted to save a bit of time for myself, but I thought it was cool, run down, having the roof fallen in a bit. We've also just, for the sake of asymmetry, got this like hanger to the left. This probably could have ended like that, and it would have looked fine, but I kind of like this jut on the side, and this is how the path from the village gets up into the entrance, because technically this is the main entrance. Obviously the back is slightly less detailed, but I actually think it's still pretty good. I've got cacti and dead bushes all around the place, and I also added these dead trees, which the branches I'm pretty sure need some work, but I just liked the reflection of having this really lively area down here. We've obviously got this insanely bright grass color, but looking at our map here, I'm really happy with that. I'm actually, you know what? No, the map is not all that impressive. Everything in this village area changed, and you can tell it's a lot more detailed, but I just like looking at it. Yeah, this is way more impressive. This is my favorite tree here. It's just very, very fun. This is about 200 days of work, 200 Minecraft days. So I think I've put enough time into making it pristine and fulfilling the original vision. Honestly, I'm not sure I can tell so much when I'm just looking at it like this, but some before and after shots will absolutely do the trick. Greenland is officially done. I really don't like that name, but you know what? It's what I came up with back then. So now in this like mini series, I've done my Eden base. I've done my first base technically. And if you guys want to see me make a cyberpunk city in a desert village, then like the video, leave some comments and let me know you like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.